New York Jets win, and win in a big way, 40-17 against the Miami Dolphins at home. Boys and girls, let's go. You love to see Zach Wilson and the team and the New York Jets just winning at home, especially against a division rival. This was a big game. This was a huge opportunity for the Jets to make a statement, and we did. This was a statement win. This put the entire league on notice, and we have to keep up this energy. Guys, before we hop into today's video, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I really would appreciate that. Hit the like button if you like the video in honor of Jets win and Victory Mondays. And then last but not least, leave a comment. I respond to every comment, and I love it when you guys leave comments on my videos. We're going to go over offense, defense, and anything else that I kind of want to talk about the Miami Dolphins game, how we won that game, the things that I think we did really well, the things that I think we need to do improvement. So let's just hop right in today's video. I want to start off by saying that Zach Wilson looked much better in the short to intermediate pass game. We've talked about it a lot, about how Zach Wilson has the ability and has the arm strength for the long, deep balls, in the middle of the field, 15 to 20-yard passes. We know he can do that exceptionally well at an elite level. We've also known about his athleticism. Zach Wilson tucking the ball and running it in for that touchdown was absolutely insane. I don't curse on this channel, but if I did, it was bad. You get it, you know? The kid's got moxie. I don't know what's the other word to say. He's got swag. He's got that dog in him. And we've always talked about the thing that he needs to get better at is the short to intermediate passing game. And that leads me to my next thing that I want to say is Zach stayed clean because this offensive line played exceptionally well. And we finally got to see what Zach looked like, really, in a clean pocket most of the time. Zach, I think, got sacked 2 times, and one of those was like 100% his fault, in my opinion. Like, you held onto the ball too long, and then you ran away for too long, and then you never got rid of the ball. Like, that's kind of 100% your fault, Zach. But we kept him clean for most of the game, and when we were clean, you can see that he was able to complete his passes and move the chains effectively. If you watch a bunch of these different Jets YouTubers, a lot of us were talking about that. Going into the season, what do we want to see from Zach? A lot of people were talking stats, but some of the smarter Jets fans and Jets content creators were talking about completion percentage. And I said, if Zach Wilson can complete 67% of his passes, that's where I want him to be. This game, he went 14 of 21. That is a 66% completion percentage. He's 1% off, but that's absolutely what we want to see from our quarterback in Zach Wilson. Now let's talk about some other things on the offense. I want to give a lot of credit to Mike LaFleur. I think Mike LaFleur might be watching my videos, so if you are watching the videos, leave a comment, Mike. I love you, and I would love to be an intern for you and learn all of the stuff about calling an offense and everything like that. Because in my video of the Miami game preview, one of the things that I mentioned a lot is that we need to, 1, spread the ball out evenly to all of our pass catchers, which we absolutely did. Not a single pass catcher on the New York Jets team got more than 4 targets, and especially with a secondary that's depleted like Miami, I wanted to make it really hard for them to focus up on one guy because the ball's going to go everywhere. We threw the ball twice to Breece Hall, 4 times to Corey Davis, 4 times to Garrett Wilson, 2 times to CJ Uzomah, 2 times to Michael Carter. We threw it to Jeff Smith once. We threw it 4 times to Elijah Moore. We threw it 1 time to Tyler Conklin and to Braxton Berrios. All of our pass catchers got involved. There was a lot of people that we got the passing game involved with, and it made defending us incredibly hard because you didn't know what was going to happen, who was going to get the ball. And I loved seeing that adjustment from Mike LaFleur. But the other thing, the balance between the run and the pass. While it was run heavy this game, we scored 40 points. All of those touchdowns on the ground. We had 5 rushing touchdowns. But that being said, we were leading this the entire game. There was never a point in this game where we didn't lead. And you can see how this offense wants to function when we have the lead. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run it effectively. We're going to pound it down your throat. And don't think that that's the only thing that we can do, because the moment you're caught sleeping, we can pass it. And you can see it. We'll pass it to our running backs. Breece Hall caught a ball for 79 yards. And so I loved that adjustment from Mike LaFleur. And then the other adjustment that I loved for Mike LaFleur is the in-game adjustments. We started off with 3 tight end sets. It didn't work out. We didn't go back to it. We saw that they were really stepping off of the run game and covering the back 7 quite a bit and playing in coverage. Well, we adjusted that. We brought both of our running backs out onto the field, played a lot of 22 personnel, and forced this defense to play 7-8 guys in the box, because you have to respect Breece Hall. You have to respect Michael Carter. And then let's talk about him. I wanted to wait till the end, but I keep bringing him up. Breece Hall is the second New York Jets running back in history to have 100 receiving yards and 100 rushing yards. The craziest part of all of this is not the fact that he has 100 rushing yards, because he had 18 carries. That's exceptionally good. It's the fact that he hit 100 receiving yards in 2 catches. He only touched the ball in the receiving game twice, and he has 100 yards. Absolutely came onto the scene and put the league on blast. He told everybody, I'm here. Watch out, because I am an elite running back in the making, and I will be a first-round draft pick in fantasy from this day on for the rest of my career. Breece Hall legitimately put himself in the Rookie of the Year conversation today, and so did another one of our players, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's continue on with the offense. The one thing that I will say that I didn't like about our offensive calling was the second and third quarter. We came out in the first quarter pretty hot. The team was kind of moving the ball effectively. We were doing things, but we weren't getting the scores that we needed to. And in the beginning of the second quarter, we get those 2 touchdowns, right? We put up 14 points. Now we're up 19. This is awesome. This is great. But then we fall flat. And the New York Jets have a tendency to, when we fall flat, we kind of keep digging the hole for ourselves, and we wait for like a big play to pull us out. And we got to be able to get ourselves out of our own ruts. We saw that happen in the fourth quarter, but U Stadium did a pretty clever tweet, and I'll give them credit for it. And that's, the Jets should play fourth quarter football for all 4 quarters. If we play how we play in the fourth quarter for all 4 quarters, we're going to be unstoppable. We'll be putting 70, 80, 90 points on every team in the NFL. It doesn't matter. Now, obviously, the opposing team has something to say about that, but ultimately, I think it comes on us. We've got the weapons on offense, and here's the big thing. Dwayne Brown comes back, and he's obviously shaking off some rust. That's obviously going to happen. But when you look at our team and the players that we're going to get back and this offensive line and what we're doing, we're going to get healthy. And as we get healthy in this major position of need, guys, we just got Dwayne Brown back. So that allowed us to move Elijah Vera-Tucker to the right side. And let's talk about Elijah Vera-Tucker in a little bit in a second. But then we also got to talk about George Fant is coming back. So if we wanted to, we could bump George Fant in at right guard to replace Nate Herbig. We could put Elijah Vera-Tucker back at right guard if that's what we want to do. We could put George Fant on the bench, which is what I want to do. And then the other thing that we got to talk about, Max Mitchell's coming back. And so we're getting these guys back over the next couple of weeks, obviously. But what that means is our offensive tackle situation is going to go from a position of weakness to a position of strength. We're going to have Dwayne Brown back. We now have a guard that can play both the left tackle and the right tackle position in Elijah Vera-Tucker. Max Mitchell's coming back. George Fant's coming back. We also signed these other veteran tackles that are on the team that we can keep around. We have Mike Remmers. Maybe he can be a usable tackle in case of another injury. Knock on wood that we don't get it. So this team is turning the corner on injuries, and you just got to hope that obviously we don't get a big one. I don't know why I mentioned now I'm going to jinx the team, but It's a big, big deal that you do that. And then I want to talk about Elijah Vera-Tucker just a little bit because I'm going to do a whole video on Elijah Vera-Tucker. Mad respect and props. I'm going to say this, and I totally believe this. Elijah Vera-Tucker is the best player on the New York Jets football team. Offense, Elijah Vera-Tucker, I think, is the best football player on this football team. To be able to go without practicing a single rep at practice, left tackle, and then to be asked to play a position that you've never played at ever in your entire football career at any level, to play right tackle, and to do it again without taking a single rep at practice, and to do it at a high level, which is what he did. I love Elijah Vera-Tucker, and I am usually not an offensive lineman jersey guy. Elijah Vera-Tucker might be the exception. He is so good, and I am so excited and so happy that he is on my football team and not on anybody else's football team, because he is so freaking good. I love that Elijah Vera-Tucker is on this football team. Now, let's switch over and let's talk about the defense. The defense did their jobs today. We're going to start with Sauce, right? Sauce Gardner, I think he earned the nickname today. Fun fact, he actually got a safety before he got his first interception, which is an insane stat. Obviously, we all saw it. But we saw Sauce flying around the field today. Pass breakups, interceptions, causing a safety. He was just everywhere. And when you look at the task that we asked this defensive back room to do, and that's, hey, you guys need to cover, as of going into that game, the number one wide receiver in football in Tyreek Hill, and an absolutely top 10, as of right now, wide receiver in football in Jalen Waddle, and absolutely insane targets like Mike Gesicki, Myles Gaskin, Raheem Mostert. Keep those guys in check in the receiving game. We're going to abandon the run game just a little bit because we want to keep Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in check. And Sauce stepped up big to do that. DJ Reed stepped up big. Michael Carter, Will Parks, LaMarcus Joyner, Jordan Whitehead, Quan Alexander, even a player that I've been recently disappointed with, CJ Mosley, have all come in and stepped up in a big way. We held this Miami wide receiving tandem to under 75 total receiving yards. That's absolutely insane. These guys were averaging like 120 a game each. And we kept them under a combined 75. That's absolutely insane. You love to see what we saw from that secondary. But we got to talk about this defensive line. While they may have started the game off a little bit slow, wow, did they pick it up towards the end. They showed up in the fourth quarter in a big way. Let me start by apologizing to Carl Lawson. I made a video earlier in the week asking the question, should we possibly look at benching Carl Lawson just a little bit, taking away some of his snaps and giving them to Jermaine Johnson? Carl Lawson came out here and absolutely shut me up. He got a sack. He got a strip sack, right? And gave us the best gif that we're going to see in New York Jets for a long time. Yeah, we probably got the worst one in the butt fumble, but we also got Quinnen Williams giving Tyreek the business and dropping him to the ground with the meanest stiff arm I've ever seen. Just right in the turf. You absolutely love to see it. But sacks from a lot of guys today. Jonathan Franklin Myers and Quinnen Williams both shared a sack. You've got Carl Lawson with a sack today. And we just created so much pressure, especially Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson had 7 QB hits, and they weren't like I was talking about in the Carl Lawson video where it was like getting to the quarterback late. No, I'm talking about he was there on time, effective, disrupting the quarterback. And yes, it was a third-string quarterback, but you still got to get the job done. And that's what the defense absolutely did. The other big thing that I really liked, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due to Jeff Ulbrich. Jeff Ulbrich and his play calling today, I was absolutely stunned by, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the idea of us playing essentially nickel coverage all game. And what we did was we either played a big nickel in Will Parks if it was a tight end out in the field, if there was a second tight end out in the field, and Will Parks was supposed to cover that tight end, and that's awesome. I love that. He's 6'1". He can keep up with tight ends. That's a great call. And then when the wide receiver came on, we went in with our faster, quicker, better change of direction in cornerback Michael Carter II. It is an absolutely brilliant game plan. I would like to see more of that. I would also like to possibly see what does that look like if maybe instead of Will Parks playing the big nickel, what if Brandon Eccles maybe played the big nickel? Now, I know that Brandon Eccles is 5'10", so he's not the biggest, but I really like Brandon Eccles' coverage abilities. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I just want to see more of Brandon Eccles. I think he's earned it because on that special teams play, I like Brandon Eccles. We all know this. I believe that he's a great high-level backup for this team, and I'm happy that he's on our team. But I got to give credit where credit is due. Jeff Ulbrich had this team playing especially well, from the defensive line to the linebackers to the safeties to the corners. We did the job on defense, and that's all that you can really ask them to. Now let's talk about the special teams, because we have to talk about special teams. Special teams showed up in a big way. We were ready to cut Braden Mann after game 1, and he has done nothing but come out and shut us Jet fans up. He took receipts, and he should be cashing them in anytime soon. The guy punted today exceptionally well, pinned a team back in the 5-yard line, which directly led to us freaking getting a safety with Sauce. He did his job today exceptionally well. Gonna give respect to Braden Mann. The other person that we got to give respect to is Greg Zuerlein. 100% today. 1 field goal, 5 extra points. Absolutely great. He put up 8 points today of our 40, and it's good to know that when the important secondary positions are taken care of, your kickers, your punters, your punt returners. Braxton Berrios with a huge punt return, 42 yards in the special teams game. And then last but not least, I got to give respect, and I want to give some love to this coaching staff. Robert Saleh had these boys ready to come out, had these men ready to come out and lay their hearts out on the line and play for this team and get the New York Jets a win at home, taking us above 500 since the Sam Darnold Detroit game. And to all of the people who were doubting Robert Saleh and all of this stuff and really, really upset, this is what I'm going to say to that. I'm not saying that he's 100% the guy. He's got to keep doing this, right? But watch out. Robert Saleh has this team playing differently. This team is playing so hard every snap of every game, of every second that they're on the field. They are playing hard, and I think a great example of that is Dwayne Brown. I didn't know this, but Dwayne Brown had an opportunity to get paid to not play football this year. He could have gotten paid, gotten a shoulder surgery, and sat out the whole year, and instead he decided to push through the pain, push through the rehab to get himself healthy, to come out and play for Gotham Green, come out and play for the Jets. And you gotta respect what this coaching staff is instilling and the energy. And I truly say this in a way that I need you guys to understand the culture in the New York Jets building is changing. It's already different. This is not the same old Jets. We're 3-2, baby. Let's get it going. Let's keep this energy up, and let's go beat the Green Bay Packers next week. But we'll save that for another video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And last but not least, go Jets.